In this exercise, we're studying the design of memorials. And you'll probably notice behind me, this is not a World War I memorial. The best way to understand World War I memorials is to consider what else they could have used as a design, and they didn't. So in other words, what's new and unique about World War I? So here instead, we're starting with a Civil War memorial. And behind me, we have a very typical Civil War statue located in front of the local courthouse. And the design elements here that are rather specific to the Civil War are things like the type of flag, the type of artillery, the weaponry, the uniform that the man is wearing, keeping in mind that in the Civil War, uniforms were not always very standardized, his hat, his belt, and then of course the dates themselves and the overall design of the monument, which is a flat top pillar on top of 3 levels. And those 3 levels, which might seem somewhat random, in the 19th century, the number 3 on the base of a memorial usually stands for faith, hope, and love. And the last piece of the puzzle is the inscription. Every memorial is going to have some sort of inscription. You want to find it and then figure out who the audience was, who wrote the inscription, what their motivation was. So here we can see that it was the Daughters of the Confederacy who most likely paid for it, and then they were supported by Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville. The other part of the inscription is, how do you memorialize defeat? So here I'm standing in the South at a Southern courthouse, clearly a monument to the Confederate Army who lost. And here you can see they've rather artfully, they're not focusing on the battle itself or the war itself. They're focusing on each individual soldier's sacrifice, which was valid no matter who won or lost. So here, the final inscription simply reads, "Love makes memory eternal." When you're looking at memorials, take a moment to look around you at nearby architecture that might have been designed at or around the same time. So here across the street from the Civil War Memorial, we have a neoclassical archway, and many of the elements in this archway, from the columns, the Corinthian columns, the pilasters, flattened columns, and the archway over the top, complete with a miniature, almost an urn or an acorn-like symbol, these are elements that we'll see in World War I memorials from the early 20th century.